All right, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this sort of tutorial on how to create an internal AI-powered Slack assistant. Now, this specific tutorial for me was a fairly quick setup. Took me about an hour, and yeah, I'm going to show you guys how to do it today. So let's get into it. The goal here with our assistant is to minimize the time spent for client communication. Now, if you're running a small to medium-sized business, you want to spend as little time as possible and just streamline your internal operations as much as possible so you don't have to communicate with other team members. If you want approval, it's all done through this assistant. Now, my integration of choice was HubSpot. HubSpot is, if you don't know, is a very popular CRM. Many small to medium-sized businesses use HubSpot. This is an absolute no-brainer when it comes to which CRM to integrate. Now, before we get started, your prerequisites. You should have a working account in make.com, Voiceflow. Now, in this case, Voiceflow, the free plan is sufficient. We don't need to go pro for this one. However, it would be nice if you want to add more integrations, more complexity. So yeah, make.com, Voiceflow, Replit, and of course HubSpot, your business account will do, and then a usable Slack channel to deploy this assistant in. So to give you guys an overview, this is the sort of design flow that we're going to follow. Now, you can expect something like this. Obviously, this is a dumbed down version, but this is a prototype of a Slack app. As you can see, we're using the Voiceflow button UIs, so it's super easy for the user to navigate and just speeds up the conversation a lot more instead of typing. And it's a lot more guided as well, so you can control what the user inputs are. Yeah, as said, the bot is going to have functions such as adding a new HubSpot deal, and of course, like minor little things that you might know. So, for example, knowledge-based chat, that you can upload a PDF and chat to it as if it's real-life assistant. And then as an extra, I threw in the urgent message / Telegram forwarding. Now, what this actually does is once you've opted in or once you've pressed yes, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second, it forwards a message to a Telegram number saying that your deal has actually been completed. And you'll see that in action in just a minute. So Slack through Voiceflow using a software called Replit. Now, if you're not familiar, I suggest you check it out. It's a sort of bridging software between providing a Slack interface and connecting the sort of conversational flow that you get in Voiceflow. Voiceflow, it's fairly simple. We don't have that many nodes. I'll show you how the board looks like in just a minute. But in Voiceflow, we basically have, at the end of the conversation, we have an API call, an API post call that sort of transfers all the data in the variables to a make scenario via a webhook. And then make scenario connects to HubSpot as well. As you guys know, HubSpot is a verified app within Make, so that's fairly easy to set up as well. Now, both the Make and the Voiceflow template, and the Replit as well. All of that is available in this Miro board. So if you guys just go down and open this Miro board via the link, you'll see these two links here. Yeah, you'll just find everything that I've made for you is all there. So let's get started. This is how my voice flow looks like at the moment. This is the entire assistant. It's relatively small, nothing too crazy. So starting off, we have obviously the introduction message, and then we get 4 options here. Yeah, 4. And the first one is really the one that matters because that's where the integration is going to take place. But we also have update a HubSpot deal. This is basically the same semantics as this one. However, it just updates. It replaces the value within the variable instead of creating new ones. We also have find a certain SOP FAQ. This is the KB chat that I was talking about. This is basically chatting to your FAQ document. That's pretty simple to set up as well. And then we have end conversation. So, but this is the most important thing. This top line right here. Adding a HubSpot deal. Now, the way I've gone about this is we're going to ask the user a couple of questions about their deal, and then based off of that, we're going to send those variables to Make. I'm not going to show you, well, I can skim through this, but you guys will see the entire conversation in just a second. This is the important part here. Deal stage. Now, the way HubSpot does this is very strange. I tried to do this by setting deal stage to buyer qualification, or just like the literal string. However, that did not work, and the reason for that is because if you go into HubSpot here, so the reason for that is because HubSpot actually has internal values that they assign to, for example, the buyer's deal, or the what else was there? Yeah, the property selection. So these numbers right here, these seemingly random ones, they're actually internal values from HubSpot itself, and you can find those if you go under properties. Let's just select deal properties for now, because we're creating a new deal. If we go to stage, yeah, so you can see all these numbers. These are actually the internal values that you can use to identify which stage of the deal, which stage the deal is actually in, and assign that number to the variable. So HubSpot knows which one it is. And then as a sort of extra, I have deal stage display set to the actual string itself, and you'll see the relevance of that in just a minute. Yeah, so more questions. As you can see, just fairly easy button navigation. And then we go to send to HubSpot. Now this is a sort of confirmation message, which you will see. And here is where this should be deal stage display. This will actually display the literal string instead of the number. So that's this right here. Yeah, and this is basically a confirmation for the user. Is all your information correct? Yes or no? And then, would you like me to update your coworkers on this added HubSpot deal? Now, it could be coworkers, it could be the manager or whoever it is. Basically, if the user opts in yes, which updates the tell update variable to 1, if the user selects yes, you can then actually use this tell update variable to trigger a make function that sets off a Telegram message to a number. Now, I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. And obviously, if the user presses no, then it just stays 0. API post hook. Now, this is a make URL, just passing through all the variables that we have up here in this conversation. All the important variables get passed to make.com. So this is my make scenario. As you can see, fairly easy, not too many nodes. When the webhook arrives, it immediately starts running. If you're setting it up for the first time, you have to press on redetermine data structure and just send a sample API call. Oh, not here. Yeah, just fill these out and then just send a API call. You should get the code 200, which means it's gone through successfully. So webhook comes in, all the variables come in here, and they get assigned here. You have to add in your properties one by one, deal name, deal amount, and if you've done this correctly, these should autofill from this selector right here. And now, up here we've got the Telegram line. So if you add in a filter that says tele update, which if you remember is this variable right here. So if the user selects yes, tele update to 1. If we go here, tele update, if it is equal to 1, it passes through, and if it's not, then it just stops right here. And Telegram is fairly easy to set up. You can also take a look at how it's done. You need a chat ID, and then you can, for this test message, I have your deal with the deal name is created. Yeah, there we go. Your deal has been created. So just a test message for us to see. So let's get that done. Now, I believe we're all ready, except we need to still add in the Replit code. Now, this is actually a template I took from the official Voiceflow guys. I'm not sure from where, but it is available for you to clone. Now, if you go in here in the README file, you can actually work through this and create your own Slack app. That's done on Slack's interface, on the interface end. However, once you've worked through all of this, you've added in your secret keys and whatnot, and the keys are to be added here. These are all of them. Once you've built the app and actually added it to your Slack channel, you can go ahead and press or run node index.js. And there we go. Bolt app is up and running, and it should work now. So we'll head over to make, turn on the scenario. Yeah, so the server is up and running. Make is also up and running. As you guys didn't see, my HubSpot is clean. It's brand new. There's no deals here or anything. And we're going to change that by adding a deal right now. So this is my assistant channel. I've just added in the Slack bot. It's called my AI assistant for now, but you can change it to whatever, really. So let's go start off with hi. Hello, I'm your company's custom-built AI assistant. Ask me anything on the click button below. Now, we want to add a HubSpot deal, so let's go add HubSpot deal. Sure thing, let's get started. To start with, what sort of name should we give this deal? Let's say sample name. Okay, and what phase of this sale is sample name? Now let's go with property selection. I believe this is a real estate template, but yeah, the buttons can really be anything. And what do you have an estimate value for this deal? Let's say 1,000. What type is sample name? And let's say new business. Great. What priority? Medium. Now we can actually see the formatting is a bit off. I can change that, but we can actually confirm this information that is correct. Press on proceed. Would you like to update your coworkers on this added HubSpot deal? Now I press on yes, and as you can see, I do have Telegram open, so I should get a notification that this deal has been created. So it's gone through. We wait. There we go. HubSpot deal at 1,000 euros has been created. That went through, and if we check our HubSpot CRM, just there we go. Sample name underneath property selection, priority medium, all the information is correct. And I did not have to leave the Slack app to do that. So now, as you guys can see, there are a lot more variables when it comes to creating a deal. Obviously, if your business runs a more complicated operation, you are going to need to add more variables in this conversation right here. However, this is not really an issue. All you have to do is just add more of these questions in Voiceflow, and it'll just add in this, fill in the variables on the HubSpot end. So there we go. We've created our deal via the AI assistant. Now, this template should be fairly easy to implement. As I said, it took me about maybe an hour to do from start to finish. So that pretty much wraps up this assistant. Now, if you have any questions or any difficulties trying to get this implemented into your business, or you want to flesh this out even more, feel free to reach me. I also have a free consultation, so if you want, you can just book in a call with me and we'll go over this. Other than that, everything is on this Miro board. All the templates, everything you'll find is over here. And yeah, I wish you best of luck to implement this in your own business.